Uh, Good afternoon, viewers, and those who are in India. Good evening. And today we were just discussing about the Bangladeshi Hindus, the atrocity that has happened. And we have our guest today, Madan Gopal Das ji. Let me to give you a little bit brief intro. He joined ISKCON in 1991 in Nairobi, Kenya. He had served over the years of the Education and Temple Management Director at ISKCON of New Jersey. He is the co-director of ISKCON Communication. He is an IT professional for 25 years in New York. And in his family, he has his wife Mansi ji, Ganga Devi ji, and son Madhav. We will invite him. Namaste, Hare Krishna Gopal Das ji Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Honored to be here.
We are honored to be with you, sir. Thank you for our invite. Sir, it's been right now a hot topic for, I can't say hot topic, but it's a crucial and very shameful thing that has happened in the Bangladesh. That Chinmaya Krishna Das ji, he was traveling and he was arrested from the airport, and they applied for the bail, and bail was also not granted. So, what is the ISKCON stance on current situation on Bangladesh, sir?
Yes, we are quite disturbed in general about the volatile situation in Bangladesh. Very concerned, and particularly regarding the safety of our Hindu minorities, and of course, members of Hare Krishna ISKCON community, which is part of the Hindu, umbrella. We urge the authorities to ensure the security and well-being of the citizens, especially in this challenging time. It needs extra care. And we also want to emphasize the importance of protecting the religious freedom and safeguarding places of worship for all the minorities, including Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, and others, because at times of emotional volatility, things tend to get out of hand. So it is something that we do want to bring up and have the authorities be on high alert right now. About the Chinmaya Krishna Das, we call upon the Bangladeshi government to safeguard the rights of all minorities, like I said, and this particular case should adhere to the international standards of justice and standards of human rights. And although he's not an official or representative of ISKCON, he does deserve due process and fair treatment under the law.
So, there has been a report of the right petition to ban ISKCON in Bangladesh. How does ISKCON respond to this?
Yes. So, certain members of the legal community, certain lawyers in Bangladesh, have put a petition in front of the Supreme Court. And we're troubled by the reports, right, that Bangladesh High Court was hearing this petition. And the petition was to label ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, as a quote-unquote fundamentalist religious organization. Now, this characterization is completely unfounded. ISKCON is globally respected and an inclusive tradition. Our regional leaders in the area are engaging with the Bangladeshi government representatives to address this and related concern. Now, thankfully, I think maybe just a few hours ago, we heard that the High Court has rejected this petition. This is just developing news. So we are grateful that they are being responsive and they're being fair on the current situation, and some of these allegations are being treated with a sense of objectivity.
I don't know whether it's a humor or fact, but today when I was just reading something and I came across that the attorney who was representing Chinmay Krishna Das ji, he was being attacked at the court compound itself. Is it true?
I have not heard that. It is possible because the situation is very volatile. One thing that I have seen is there are many reports that are coming out from the area, and then because it's like a fog of war and there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of emotion, and things are very charged, it is difficult to ascertain some of the details. Since it's a developing situation, so it's definitely problematic. So we are basing our understanding on what's developing by double checking through multiple reputable media sources, reports that are coming out of places like other established newspapers and so on. And so we're kind of going with that, and we do have our devotees on ground. So that may be true. It may be a developing thing, but I am personally not aware of that report.
What contribution ISKCON has made for the Bangladeshi society over the years?
Now, it's a good question. ISKCON has been an active contributor to Bangladeshi society for over 50 years. And ISKCON is not even 60 years old right now. So our members have established orphanages, old age homes, free medical camps, and our devotees have organized and have consistently provided humanitarian aid during disasters such as floods. Importantly, ISKCON serves people of all religions and ethnicities without discrimination. It reflects our ethos of inclusivity and nonviolence. ISKCON devotees have been on the front line, being among the first to respond to such disasters. Where you can see them on boats and they're handing out food for all people, without asking any questions on what religion or anything. It's irrelevant. So ISKCON has been, in addition to spiritual upliftment, have invested tremendous resources in being ready to serve the entire society, regardless of ethnicity or religious background.
So how does ISKCON address the accusations that its members are disloyal, problematic citizens in Bangladesh then?
Yeah, that is a difficult, it's a painful thing for us to be accused of that, because they're entirely baseless, these accusations. ISKCON members are and have always been law-abiding, peaceful citizens, very tolerant, even when we've been discriminated against. And also, our spiritual tradition itself, the Hare Krishna tradition, religion, and philosophy, our whole spirituality is rooted in nonviolence and inclusivity. And this particular tradition and religious philosophy is followed by millions of practitioners all around the world. Now, additionally, ISKCON has a strong historical and spiritual ties to this Bangladesh region. Our movement, founded by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago. Of course, it is based on the ancient teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, which is thousands of years old. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who we accept as an incarnation of Lord Krishna, his parents were from modern-day Bangladesh. So even that whole country makes it a very sacred place for our faith.
I was not knowing that.
Yes, it's like for any Krishna devotee, Mathura is very sacred because Krishna was born there. So for us, that whole Navadvip area, which is West Bengal, is where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born. There is our world headquarters. The biggest temple in the world is being built there. Should be opening up in a couple of years, and that is the Mayapur Navadvip area. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's parents just came not far from there, which is Bangladesh, which is not too far. So that whole region for us is worshipable just as much as Vrindavan Mathura is.
So what is the ISKCON's message to the media and social media users during this crisis?
Yeah, so in general, whenever there's a crisis and there are old wounds that are opened, whenever there's a sense of anger and outrage, the immediate response would be to respond to that outrage. And it's not that we shouldn't respond. However, we urge the media and we urge our social media users to act responsibly. Primarily from, please refrain from spreading unverified rumors or inflammatory narratives. Because we've seen a lot of the times one fact will be twisted a little bit to make it a little bit more outrageous, and it turns out it's not even true. But it kind of feeds the outrage machine. I'm not saying this is not an outrageous event. This whole crisis, we're calling it a crisis. However, let us use our platforms, the media, social media, our connections, our networks, to promote unity and the protection of all communities. Yes, if we want to demand something, yes, we want to demand fair treatment. We want to demand rule of law and so on. So if we can all, think in the side of being more responsible to de-escalate the tension and to foster peace, that'll be so much more productive. I'm not saying we hide anything. We have to actually bring all the facts to life. But we do urge everybody to bring facts and not try to twist them to fit into a pre-described or preconceived narrative. We do want to give everybody a fair shake into what's happening. Like, for example, the Bangladesh High Court, they rejected this unfair petition, which is very good. So you can see that they are, the government officials, they are being responsive. So we do want to refrain from accusing them of things that they're not necessarily doing. And similarly, we request the Bangladeshi authorities to also not accuse us for things that we're not doing. All we want to do is spread the message of God, support and uplift all members of the community, and especially provide support to the Hindu minorities to give them spiritual services, and promote a sense of harmony and religious respect for everyone. So when we're in a crisis like this, if we can de-escalate, that is something that we want to look into.
When we are talking about government and de-escalation and stuff like that, have ISKCON ever approached Indian government or US government to help them out? And is there any facts that you can just provide us what they are doing?
Yes, sure, of course. So the ISKCON leaders in India are working very hard and very closely with the Indian government to foster talks with the Bangladeshi government officials. The ISKCON devotees in Bangladesh are also approaching the Bangladeshi government officials, and there are certain our ISKCON devotees in the West are also looking to approach their own governments and petition them to see if that they can lend their voice in the same request that we are making to the Bangladeshi officials, that kindly, make it a point, kindly make it a priority to ensure that fair treatment is applied everywhere, that there's no bias in the way the law is applied to certain minorities or certain religious groups, to urge them to always follow at least the basic human rights and the conventions that have been established globally. And then hopefully the idea is that the Bangladeshi government will be responsive. There's no indication that they're not. So that's a good sign that just proved this morning. So it seems that some of that is working. We do encourage reaching out to your local, whichever country that you're in. However, even when you do that, please do so in a proper fact-based approach, not in a sense of trying to aggravate the situation further, but just to encourage the government to lend their voice in this very important request to the Bangladeshi governments.
Since now the Republican government will be in action from January, right? And Tulsi Gabbard is one of the prominent leader of ISKCON. Is there anything from her, or is she trying something to do for the ISKCON?
Yes, so Tulsi Gabbard will be taking, if she gets confirmed, an important role in the Republican administration in January. She has been supportive of ISKCON. She is a practitioner of the Hare Krishna religion, and she has participated in many of our events in Washington, D.C. and so on. So at this time, I'm not sure if she is getting involved. I'm not exactly sure if there's any involvement from her right now. However, she is a prominent voice, and we hope that she will also lend her voice to raising this awareness of the importance of working well together, the importance of de-escalation, the importance of human rights, and she has been, a face, a very public face of the Hindu community, not just the Hare Krishna community, but the Hindu community in general. And so we're looking forward to working, hopefully, with her to promote the messages of peace.
Lastly, can you provide some context about ISKCON spiritual tradition and its connection to the Bangladesh?
Yes. So, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, we are a global federation of temples, cultural centers, and spiritual communities. We have about 1,000 such centers all over the world. And we have members in large numbers from devotees of all ethnic and nationalities, backgrounds, and languages. We have devotees who are from African background. We have, of course, in America, we have such a diverse country as it is, but we have representation from all ethnicities in America. We have Europe and Australia. We have major presence everywhere. And ISKCON is a part of what we call the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, or tradition, under Hinduism. It was founded by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada in 1966 here in New York. But it's based on Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. These are very important scriptures that are ancient and thousands of years old. And it is also based on teaching of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared 500 years ago. And like I mentioned, Mahaprabhu's parents came from Bangladesh. So Vaishnavas, Gaudiya refers to that region, the West Bengal, Bangladesh region. And Gaudiya Vaishnavas are found in that region in the lakhs or hundreds of thousands. So you can see it's not in especially West Bengal. But considering our minority status in Bangladesh, where we have not so many, it is of major concern when these things happen. Similar things happened in 2021, in October of 2021. There were some clashes and some unrest. And so what we are calling upon devotees in ISKCON to do is this weekend on, say, every Sunday, most ISKCON temples have some public program, some prayer program, some preaching. So in their temples and centers and communities, we urge and request all Hindu organizations and especially ISKCON temples and centers to hold a special prayer vigil and special kirtan for Hare Krishna Mahamantra for the overall peace in the region and the protection of all Hindus and other religious minorities. We pray to Lord Krishna, we pray to Lord Nrsimhadev, who is the supreme protector. And so this is what we're urging. This, we hope, is just a small passing event and it'll be forgotten. Hopefully it's so small. But we do want to de-escalate as much as possible and pray with all our brothers and sisters across the world. And those who are joining us in prayer, they don't just, not everybody comes from Hindu background. There are others of other religious backgrounds who believe in unity and promoting peace, including local Bangladeshis. So please join us in respecting each other and happily worshiping God according to our own traditions. Thank you.
Any last word for the North Americans, Hindus, those who are here? What would you like to say on them for the Bangladesh crisis?
Yes, so our request to all the Hindus in North America is to stay appraised of all the developments, but use that, use your networks, use your connections, use your social media to raise awareness in a positive way of this negative situation, which means let's try to help each other by only sharing what is actually true and accurate. Also, please say your prayers, please share your prayers, and let the prayerful vibrations go all over the world. Let us use this opportunity to unite amongst ourselves. Let us support other Hindu organizations that are also requesting and calling out for peace. Let us take this opportunity to not divide ourselves, but to be more united. Let us also represent the general spirit of our Bhagavad Gita and Vedic philosophy of Sarve Sukhina Bhavantu, let everybody be at peace, let there be unity, let there be harmony. So we pray, we raise awareness, and we try to bring peace by unifying. And it's an opportunity for us to come even closer together. So let us please do all those things and bring our heart and our genuine good feelings into the picture. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.